plan your own trip to Reno Tahoe by going to visitRenoTahoe.com. And remember to always tag @MissUSA on all of your social media posts this week and use the hashtag Reno Tahoe. All right, well, I personally think we've waited long enough, and I'm excited to see these beautiful gowns. So let's welcome all the contestants back out for the preliminary gown competition. Alabama.
To see all women pursue their dreams and know that they are strong and capable. This 21-year-old sees pageantry as a vehicle that allows her to make a difference in the lives of others. Alabama.
Alaska. Joellen received the highest award in Girl Scouting for helping transform the way prescription medications are disposed of in her state. This 25-year-old military brat often moved more than once a year growing up. Alaska. Arizona.
Savannah once interned in a marketing department at Warner Brothers Records. Now this 22-year-old is organizing a musical festival to raise money for an organization that focuses on mental health awareness and suicide prevention. Arizona.
Arkansas. Savannah is both a state basketball champion and a second-degree black belt in Taekwondo. This athletic 24-year-old anchored at her college TV station and has modeled for multiple national ad campaigns. Arkansas. California.
After taking the LSAT, Erica decided law school was not her professional calling. This 27-year-old switched academic focuses and pursued her master's degree in international business, completing this degree in Sydney, Australia. California.
Colorado. Madison grew up on a farm raising cows, buffaloes, chickens, and goats. This 26-year-old lost over 40 pounds in the last 4 years and is now writing a cookbook for women to show them how to eat in an enjoyable and healthy way. Colorado. Connecticut.
Acacia is the founder of a nonprofit organization that retrains ex-racehorses for new careers. This 26-year-old animal lover and advocate has been a vegetarian since she was 15 years old. Connecticut.
Jolisa has a master's degree in entrepreneurship and design and is currently working as a landscape designer. In her free time, this 24-year-old likes to craft recycled glass bottles into flower vases and travel on mission trips. Delaware. District of Columbia.
Cordelia provides support to youth in foster care and has proudly reunified several families as a social worker. This 26 26-year-old motivational speaker has 17 brothers and sisters. District of Columbia.
Florida.
Nicolette is earning her master's degree in sports management and hopes to become a sports reporter for a major sports network. This 22-year-old currently works for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in their video production department. Florida.
Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, District of Columbia, and Florida. Georgia.
Katarina has played the grand piano for 16 years. This 21-year-old has 5 younger sisters and is passionate about helping women and children escape human trafficking, domestic abuse, and homelessness. Georgia.
Hawaii.
Lacey is currently an intern at her state's capital. This 20-year-old is passionate about keeping her island home beautiful for future generations and is working alongside state senators to help research for their goal of 100% clean energy by 2045. Hawaii.
Idaho.
Shelby has been a makeup artist for 6 years and has her own line of false lashes. This 25-year-old has done hair and makeup for countless contestants, including 12 of the current USA and Team USA delegates. Idaho.
Illinois.
Alexandra's career goal is to be the heart health guru on TV talk shows. This 24-year-old is an ambassador for the American Heart Association and an active volunteer for the Big Heart Foundation, elevating the conversation of heart health. Illinois.
Indiana.
Tate is currently studying marketing at Butler University. Upon graduation, this 21-year-old entrepreneur plans to open her own clothing boutique and run a successful fashion blog. Indiana.
Iowa.
Bailey was a high school varsity track runner for 4 years. This 21-year-old is currently studying business marketing in college with plans to open up a daycare facility for foster care families. Iowa.
Kansas.
Alyssa volunteers for a nonprofit dedicated to providing prosthetic care to amputees in need of financial support. This 21-year-old is a domestic abuse survivor who hopes to share her story with young people across the country. Kansas.
Kentucky.
Jordan is an ambassador for her state's Best Buddies chapter and raised money for their recent friendship walk. This 22-year-old understands the importance of getting back and plans to take a mission trip to Ethiopia this summer. Kentucky.
Louisiana.
Victoria plans to obtain her master's degree in nursing. This 26-year-old spent many nights in a homeless shelter as a child, but today lives in a home she helped design herself. Louisiana.
Maine.
Lexi is currently a full-time student paying her own way through college. This 23-year-old environmental science major has worked with legislators, scientists, and fishermen, all with the goal in mind to protect her state's fishery industry. Maine.
Georgia. Hawaii. Idaho. Illinois. Indiana. Iowa. Kansas. Kentucky. Louisiana. And Maine. Maryland.
Mariela speaks fluent Spanish and has studied French and is currently learning American Sign Language. This multilingual 23-year-old has traveled all around the world because her father served in the United States Army for 25 years. Maryland.
Massachusetts.
Kelly double majored in social studies and East Asian studies at Harvard. This 28-year-old works as a management consultant, traveling the world advising CEOs and top industry managers on pressing business challenges. Massachusetts.
Michigan.
Elise advocates for those struggling with their mental health by introducing alternative healing outlets such as reading. This 26-year-old's goal is to eventually write children's books that focus on self-confidence and inclusivity. Michigan.
Minnesota.
Kat is proud to be both a first-generation American and first-generation college graduate. This 23-year-old was a founding member of a volunteer organization aimed at educating underprivileged children about nutrition. Minnesota.
Mississippi.
NFL cheerleader for the New Orleans Saints. This 21-year-old has overcome her severe OCD and plans to get her master's degree in nursing and become a surgical nurse. Mississippi.
Missouri.
Mariah Joe is a former St. Louis Cardinals in-house reporter. This well-traveled 25-year-old was born with dislocated hips, so she spent the majority of her beginning of her life in a full-body brace. Missouri.
Montana.
Grace proudly volunteers for the Missoula County Human Trafficking Task Force. Each year, this philanthropic 27-year-old makes 300 to 400 handmade Valentine's Day cards for her local Meals on Wheels chapter. Montana.
Nebraska.
Lex is an advocate for Lyme disease awareness and education. This 25-year-old became an ambassador for the Twin Cities Lyme Foundation after mom was diagnosed with the disease. Nebraska.
Nevada.
Tiana studied vocal performance at UNLV, where she took piano and choral lessons 5 days a week. This 26-year-old was part of a youth singing group that once performed at the White House for President Obama. Nevada.
New Hampshire.
Alexis plans to attend medical school and become a neonatal cardiologist. In high school, this 22-year-old was in an abusive relationship, so she now volunteers for her state's coalition against domestic and sexual violence. New Hampshire.
Maryland. Massachusetts. Michigan. Minnesota. Mississippi. Missouri. Montana. Nebraska. Nevada. And New Hampshire. New Jersey.
Manya was a competitive dancer for 15 years and a Division I varsity cheerleader. While at Bucknell University, this 21-year-old was an advanced math and science tutor specializing in chemistry, biology, and calculus. New Jersey.
New Mexico.
Alejandra is an animal lover who has volunteered at various pet shelters. This 26-year-old self-described band geek can read music and has played the alto saxophone since the 6th grade. New Mexico.
compete in shot put and discus, breaking her high school records in both field events. This 27-year-old plans to own a med spa one day, while also working in an emergency room performing trauma medicine. New York.
North Carolina.
Chesley is a self-taught pianist and former Division I scholarship track and field athlete. In her spare time, this 28-year-old organizes photo shoots and writes articles for her fashion blog. North Carolina.
North Dakota.
Samantha has sung the national anthem at over 75 different sporting events. As the daughter of a retired serviceman, this 22-year-old's favorite performance was at a race car track honoring servicemen and women on Independence Day. North Dakota.
Ohio.
Alice encourages others to step outside of what society has defined as beauty and success. This 21-year-old doesn't Photoshop or manipulate any of the photos that she posts and began lobbying with the Eating Disorder Coalition in 2016. Ohio.
Oklahoma.
Triana partnered with Nike, becoming an ambassador for the brand's N7 division that celebrates the heritage of Native Americans. This 26-year-old is a citizen of the Chickasaw Nation and is honored to be a voice for tribal nations. Oklahoma.
Oregon.
Natalie is a fitness model and certified group fitness instructor. This 28-year-old won 2 state championships as a cheerleader in high school and was a dancer at Oregon State University for 4 years. Oregon.
Pennsylvania.
Kaylin graduated from law school and is currently studying for the bar exam. This 27-year-old plans to become a political correspondent and host her own talk show one day. Pennsylvania.
Rhode Island.
Nicole's goal is to open her own real estate firm and be recognized as one of the country's top female brokers. This 23-year-old volunteers with organizations that support those with intellectual and physical disabilities, including Best Buddies and the Special Olympics. Rhode Island.
New Jersey. New Mexico. New York. North Carolina. North Dakota. Ohio. Oklahoma. Oregon. Pennsylvania. And Rhode Island. South Carolina.
Mackenzie is an experienced dog trainer who has worked with several breeds, including German Shepherds and Rottweilers. This 21-year-old used to be afraid of heights and flying, but faced her fears by skydiving. South Carolina.
South Dakota.
Abigail has shown and trained horses since she was 5 and won a world championship in 2012. This now 22-year-old is earning a degree in broadcast journalism and has already earned an executive position in the digital marketing industry. South Dakota.
Tennessee.
Savannah began her career with a global design firm as one of only 2 female employees working in civil engineering. This 25-year-old now interfaces with engineering departments at universities across the United States. Tennessee.
Texas.
Alea combines 2 of her passions, fashion and reading, by opening an online boutique that helps fund literacy initiatives. This 23-year-old has overcome dyslexia and is an advocate for lowering the illiteracy rate across the country. Texas.
Utah.
Amanda has played golf for 6 years and was the captain of her high school team. This 23-year-old recently graduated from Ohio University with an honors degree in marketing and retail merchandising. Utah.
Vermont.
Bethany enjoys building the self-confidence of her students as a dance instructor. This 22-year-old travels to schools across her state, talking about the importance of mental health wellness and keeping a healthy mind. Vermont.
Virginia.
At 6 feet 1, Courtney is the shortest member of her family. This 22-year-old works with Wounded Warrior Program and recently earned the Gold Presidential Volunteer Service Award for exceeding 1,000 hours of community service. Virginia.
Washington.
Evelyn is a paralegal working in estate planning and business law. This 27-year-old member of the Cowlitz Indian tribe was the MVP and captain of her high school basketball team. Washington.
West Virginia.
Haley plans to incorporate her passion for clean eating into a business venture. This 24-year-old hopes to help stomp out diabetes by making healthy food trucks available to low-income communities in her state. West Virginia.
Wisconsin.
Through Danica is raising awareness of the human trafficking epidemic in her state. This 22-year-old was a three-sport athlete in high school and went on to play basketball at Concordia University, Wisconsin.
Wyoming.
Addison is a college honors student studying marketing with a focus in professional sales. This 19-year-old is an anorexia survivor who currently advocates for the prevention and treatment of eating disorders. Wyoming.
South Carolina. South Dakota. Tennessee. Texas. Utah. Vermont. Virginia. Washington. West Virginia. Wisconsin. And Wyoming.
Wow, let's hear it one more time for every single woman that was on this stage tonight. I think they each did such an incredible job, and they were really just all shining.
And how about the Grand Sierra Resort? How about this theater? It's been a home away from home for 51 beautiful young ladies who have done a terrific job tonight. All of the crew you see here tonight, the food has been fantastic. The hospitality has been fantastic as well. Thank you to the GSR. Also, special thanks to Andrew Diss as well with the GSR, a good friend of mine. And of course, Jeff Henry.